easily appreciated, just as easily misunderstood. Tonight, you'll come to understand Barbra Streisand a little better, I think. I know I learned a lot.
Do you mind if I correct your pronunciation of my name?
Please.
Streisand.
I'm sorry.
So many people do that, and I always wonder, am I really famous? You know, how could they say Streisand or Zand? They call me a lot, Streisand. Streisand.
I should be more careful.
No, that's okay. I didn't mean to
I'm glad you
criticize you, but it's like, it would be nice to have my name pronounced right.
But success had come so hard and fast, at 25, she wasn't prepared for it.
Then I was on the cover of Time and Life, and 1 week, and people saying I was great, and I'm thinking, what great? How great? What do I have to live up to here?
I didn't do nothing yet.
I remember having nights of that terrible self-doubt where I thought, I don't even know what I'm doing here, and almost going blank and forgetting words. And
undermining yourself? What does
yeah.
a psychoanalyst say about that?
It drove me into psychoanalysis, actually.
Did they say you were doing it to yourself?
Well, it's not feeling worthy of success or whatever. You know, it's complex.
I don't know why I'm frightened. It was more than simple stage fright, but there wasn't another live public performance for 27 years.
Some people think you're the best in the world, certainly the best in your generation, and yet you don't seem to value that.
I didn't for a long time. I took it for granted, my talent as a singer. I kind of threw it away.
You mean I'm hired?
Uh-huh.
I'm a Zico girl.
That's exactly what you are.
In 1965, she left Broadway for Hollywood and didn't look back.
Well, hello, look who's here, darling.
On a clear day.
But it's been decades since we thought of Streisand as a funny girl.
What's up, Doc?
I don't know what happened. What did I do? I can't remember my movies. It was a long time, I guess, between comedies, right?
Mm-hmm.
A long time.
This week, she returns to her roots in comedy.
I have a theory about love and sex.
Does anybody want coffee?
But in The Mirror has two faces. She plays three roles we've lately come to expect: producer, director, and star.
Okay, can we go?
Yes, we can. Get in line.
She likes being in charge, and no detail escapes her notice.
Looking at each other and smiling may have to go back to a static camera.
Do you find any aspect of your work joyful?
Yes and no, again. You know, I mean, I love the joy of the creative process, the right words, the right feeling, the right smile that's totally motivated by truth. That's joyful. But, you know, getting the right costume, the right setting, the right temperature outside, the right sound system, you know, the right music, it's difficult, hard work.
She's earned a reputation as a perfectionist, though it's not often meant as a compliment.
And I was thinking the other day, nobody says their doctor is too much of a perfectionist. It's interesting because when male directors fire people in the first week, sometimes directors get rid of half the crew. Nobody writes about it, nobody talks about it. If a woman does that, you know, she's the powerful ogre monster.
There doesn't seem to be a middle ground for her. Streisand either inspires lavish praise or stinging criticism.
Who are all these people wagging their fingers at you about being a perfectionist anyway?
I think people who don't think they do enough in their lives or don't think they're good enough at something.
How are you on criticism?
Probably don't take it very well. Who likes to be criticized?
What do you want to do for dinner?
I don't care about dinner. I'm upset. Can't you see that I'm upset?
Well, how should I know? You're always so relieved when you cancel your date.
This is not a date. We're just agreeing to eat at the same table.
The Mirror Has Two Faces is an adaptation of a French film about husbands and wives,
Excuse me.
love and sex.
That wine, it made me warm.
I can fix that.
It's okay.
And mothers and daughters.
You're the mother of the bride, not the opening act.
Fine. I'll go home and change.
And there you'll find the connection to Streisand's own life.
These famous stories about the beautiful mother and the beautiful sister and the not-so-pretty sister. And I love things like that, you know, archetypal characters.
What
like
role
in
did
this.
you play?
Well, I was the not very pretty sister. And my mother was very pretty. And my mother wanted to be famous. My mother wanted to be a singer. My mother has a beautiful voice. And I think that, I think there was jealousy there. You know, this is difficult for me because I don't want to hurt my mother. You know, she's, thank God, still alive, and she's 88 years old. So I don't want to hurt her.
Streisand's childhood in Brooklyn was not a happy one. Two things she apparently didn't have: her mother's approval and furniture, specifically a couch.
Oh, I like your couch. We never had a couch till I was 8.
Interestingly enough, Streisand has spent so much of her life on the psychoanalyst couch, both in her movies and real life. It was a running bit in her concert tour.
Hello. Can you tell me anything good about your parents? Are you crazy? No, I'm normal. I swear.
How have you now worked things out with your mother?
It's happened over the last few years. There are certain things I've learned that I can never get, that I will never get, and it's the acceptance of that, you know? And just realizing that she's done the best job she could with her children. And she has her own pain. In other words, it must be very painful to not fulfill your dream, to not become that singer.
Mom, you stood up. Take it easy, Mom. Sit down, darling. I'm glad you're here.
You wouldn't have switched lives with her.
Not for a minute. No. You know, what would my life be like if I had had a very supportive mother who believed in me and said I could be an actress and that I was pretty enough and all that? I don't know.
Might not have worked out so well.
Might not have worked out. So that's why I'm grateful to her.
Barbra's mother had actually missed the opening night performance of her long-awaited return to the concert stage in Las Vegas. But another woman who'd become a mother figure in her life was there, President Clinton's mother.
Virginia Clinton Kelly. Virginia Kelly was there for both of my performances. So it was, oh, that's what mothers are like. That's what.
They're there for you.
They're there for you. And I took an interesting picture with her and my mother on one side of me and Virginia on the other. It's a very meaningful picture to me.
Movie audiences may get a glimpse of Barbra's father. That's Emanuel Streisand in the picture with her movie mom, Lauren Bacall. He died when Barbra was only 15 months old. Like her character in the film, he taught English literature.
Let's face it, we all want to fall in love.
The character Rose does have her brains and her career and her self-respect, I think, to fall back on
And her sense of humor.
when life it seems to have destined her not to have love in it.
Yeah.
Is that a deal you would accept?
No. No.
You are persistent in matters of love, aren't you?
Well, what else is there, really?
It's sex.
Yeah?
In the movie, Rose meets the guy, actor Jeff Bridges, when he puts an ad in the personals column.
If you were writing one of those personal ads,
If me, Barbra, or Rose?
you, Barbra,
I would never write one.
Let's speculate you could, though. What would you be advertising for?
The characteristics I would be looking for in a man. Non-competitive, loving, supportive, understanding, funny, intelligent, good-looking.
Why'd you go for non-competitive first?
Because I think that's a horror.
You've been there.
Yeah.
There have been relationships, some serious, with some equally famous names, or nearly so. But Streisand is a Hollywood anomaly. At 54, she's been married only once. She and Elliot Gould were divorced 25 years ago. They have a son, Jason, who played the son in her award-winning Prince of Tides.
Save that crap for your patient's mom.
Today, the man in her life is actor-director James Brolin.
We work together every day. Are you surprised, looking back, that you didn't remarry?
No. Mm-mm.
You think you will?
You know, everyone asks that question. I wonder why. Can you not feel committed without the piece of paper?
What do you call committed?
Committed is not wanting to be with anybody else.
Forever?
Jane, I swear to God, why don't you ask me about my movie? Why don't you talk about
the
the
movie.
mirror has two faces? It gets too personal, this stuff.
But marriage was a theme in your movie.
Well, yeah, maybe someday, but I don't. It's what is the big deal is having a great relationship, which I have.
Of course, in real life, the girl doesn't always get the guy she wants, like Dolly Levi did. In fact, in the movies, Streisand has loved and lost Omar Sharif in Funny Girl, Robert Redford in The Way We Were, and Nick Nolte in Prince of Tides. But audiences long for happily ever afters, and you never know.